Cambridge ICT 22 November paper 3 spreadsheet. You have been supplied with the following source files, and these are the files. So I have the source files on the desktop. Task 1, evidence document, create a new word process document. So I have to create a document with that name. N22 evidence underscore your center number underscore your candidate number. So in your work area, right click new, and this is Microsoft Word, and name it N23 evidence underscore center number underscore candidate number, and then open that file. In the header, you put your candidate details, that is your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay? And save this file and keep it until you are instructed to place screenshots, or maybe copy and paste some of your results. Okay, now we shall do task 2 spreadsheet. You are going to create a spreadsheet for Tawara Wildlife Trust. This will display data about donations given by individuals and companies in their countries to their global conservation projects. These donations are made in the currency of that country. Maybe in that exercise, we will do several VLOOKUPs to pick up the name of the currency, the ISO of the currency, and maybe we do currency exchange. Tawara Wildlife Trust record their finance in Tawara dollars. So there is something called Tawara dollars. Definitely this is fictitious. However, if they ask you to apply appropriate formatting, you make it just a dollar, any currency with the dollar symbol, and make it 2 decimal points. Okay? Do not edit data files provided unless instructed to do so. What does this mean? There is, or there may be two, or maybe there is 1 or 2 files. Maybe let us say that this is the file we are going to take data from. Probably is going to be the table array for the VLOOKUP. You are not allowed to make any changes to the files you take data from. Probably this is the donate file. This is the one you are going to edit. And this, don't change it unless you are instructed. Probably you will not be asked to make any changes. Okay? You will only take data from it. Even that second file, we do not do a save as. We don't change it from CSV into Excel workbook. Only this one. They will instruct you for everything. Just kindly do not do anything extra. Do not edit these files provided unless instructed to do so. Okay. Open and examine. When they ask you to examine, you know, there are maybe some information. You have to figure it out yourself. Okay. Open and examine the files N22 donate and N22 currency in a spreadsheet bucket. So this is N22 donate, double click. It opens in Excel. I would advise that you do select all, double click, auto fit. Select all, double click between A and B, and auto fit. So this is the code, this is the project name, total donation, and maybe you will need to fill these empty columns as instructed. Okay? Okay, the other file is the currency. This is the currency. Double click, it loads, and select all, double click between A and B, auto fit. Probably this will be the table array where you take data from. Okay? So if you get your result from column index number 2, you get the ISO. If your result is from column index number 3, you get the currency. If the result is from column index number 4, you get the exchange rate. You have to figure out this yourself because the exam will not tell you, because the exam is instructing you to open and examine these files. Okay? Okay, I think we will be editing the donate file. Okay, place in the footer of the donate file. So this is the donate file, And we will get rid of that warning very soon because we will do save as and change it to Excel workbook. However, first insert header and footer and go to footer, go to footer. So down on the left align, edited by, followed by a space, then your name, center number, candidate number. So edited by, and then a space. This is your name, your center number, your candidate. Right align the automated file name with no file path. So in the footer, right align, this button displays the file name. Yeah, only the file name without the file path. Okay? Okay. Let us get outside header and footers, click somewhere near data, and then go to view and no. Okay, now you are outside view. Okay, now you are outside headers and footers. However, they will appear when you print the document. Save this as a spreadsheet. Remember to change it into Excel workbook. Okay, so save as. This is file, save as, and this is your work area, 22 November, paper 3. First thing, change it from CSV into Excel workbook. Okay, it is explicitly mentioned here. With the file name donate, followed by your candidate number and underscore and your center number. So the file name is donate underscore center number underscore candidate. And remember that the file name automatically appears in the footer. So if the examiner finds a difference between your candidate details in the footer and your candidate details in the file name, this will be conveyed as misconduct. Okay, so save. Now I'm ready, I'm away from that warning message about not being saved as Excel word. Okay, okay, let us do some calculation. This is 8 marks, and this is 6 marks, 5 marks, 1 mark. Okay, I think I get worried when I see 15 marks question. It may be complicated at that time. Enter a formula in E29. Let us have a look. This is cell E29. This is E29. It is labeled local currency ISO. Okay, so I would like a function to display the ISO of the currency of the country displayed in B29. This is the name of the country displayed in B29. I think I will do VLOOKUP. I think I will take this as my lookup value. Okay? Using the external file N23 currency, this is the external file N23 currency. I will do VLOOKUP, and this will be my table array, and column index number will be 2. Later on, I will highlight the whole table. And column index number will be 2 because column number 2 is labeled ISO. And this is the information I want. Okay, so it is just a direct VLOOKUP. This is just a direct VLOOKUP. Okay, so in the donate file, click on button FX and search for VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. And click on go. And when you find it, you click on OK. Okay, now I have the VLOOKUP. You should be familiar with that VLOOKUP. The lookup value will be the name of that country. Okay, so this is going to be B29 as instructed by the exam. Okay, the table array, you have to go to the other file, highlight all the data except titles. Okay, and the data is very simple because VLOOKUP will be searching in the leftmost column, okay, for a match for the country. It's gonna work very simple. Okay, and then okay, column index number is column number 2 because you are looking for the ISO. VLOOKUP will search in the country column for a match. That's fine. And you'd like the result to come from column number 2. Maybe if for other questions, if you are looking for the country, you get column index number 3. Maybe for the recent question, you will be taking column index number 4. You have to use the correct column index. In that question, I will use column index number 4. Yes, column index number 4, which, and I'm sorry, column index number 2, which means retrieve data from the second column with ISO. And also in range lookup, we put false. False means exact match. So no approximation is allowed or required. When you click OK, I think the function is working because Kenya, the ISO for that country or for that currency is KES. Okay, replicate. The exam is not asking you to replicate right now, but I would advise you that you replicate and make sure it is working properly. Let me explain a little bit about this. This is the first country, and I double click to check. And when you double click, you see country is moving down with you. We call this relative reference. Okay, it's working just fine. Okay, okay, now that VLOOKUP is, that was worth 8 marks. That's very generous. Okay, enter a formula in cell F29 to look up. I think I will do another lookup, exactly the same, but to look up the exchange rate, I think I need to use column index number 4 because we have been looking at the table. Okay, for this country using the external file n22 currency.csv, it is just exactly the same. FX and VLOOKUP is in the most recently used list. The lookup value will be KAS. I'm sorry, will be Kenya. The lookup will be exactly like the previous one. The table array, go to the other file and highlight all data except the top row or the data columns, column headers. The whole table, the whole table. Okay? However, in this question, you should write here 4, column index number 4, because I would like the result to be retrieved from column number 4. So column index number 4 and range lookup false because I don't want exact, I don't want approximation. I want exact match. And this is okay. And this is the proper exchange rate. Replicate to make sure it is working properly. Yes, it is. At the end, the exam will ask you to replicate everything, but it is not a problem if you replicate earlier than the exam is asking. Okay? Enter a formula in G29. This is G29. Calculate the donation in Tawara dollars by dividing. The exam is asking you to divide something by another thing. Okay, by dividing the value in the donate in local currency column, you will divide that donate in local currency column by the exchange rate. So you will divide this by that. Okay, however, rounding this down, please watch for the words rounding this value down because I have 3 rounding functions. I have function round, I have function round up, I have function round down. I think here they ask you to use the function round down because otherwise they will say rounding and that's it. If they say rounding this to 0 or 1 decimal place, use function round. If they say rounding this up, use function round up. If they say rounding this down, use function round down. And there are differences. Round down always approximate to the lowest nearest whole number. So if it's 3.9, it is approximated to 3 because it is round down. Okay? Okay, so first let us open the round down function. And inside of it, we put number of decimal places 2, and inside of it, we do the division. Okay, so you start with the round down function. The pointer here and click on FX and search for round down. Okay, so and click on go, and this is the round down. Okay, open it. Let us examine it. There are two things or two arguments, the number and the number of digits. Put the number of digits 2 just to get rid of this. Okay, number of digits 2 means rounding down to 2 decimal place. And the number, in the number, you have to do that division. The exam is asking you to divide the local donation in local currency, this cell, divide by, and this is the divide symbol, and this is the exchange rate, this cell. Okay, so okay, so number of digits 2, which is number of decimal places 2, and the function is round out, and the number is this cell divide by, and this is the slash, the divide symbol, divide by that cell. And when you click OK, to make sure that you are doing it right, double click on it and you see cells highlighted with colors. Double click on it. Yeah. Oh, it is not wrong. Correct. You always have to check your work. And Excel is very kind in coloring cells for you. Okay. And when you are fine with it, replicate all the way down. And also you may like to double click on this and see cells are going down with you. We call this relative cell reference. Sometimes you need to do absolute cell reference. This will come in a minute, and the exam will be guiding you to do this in a very kind way. Okay? Okay. Replicate formulae. I've already done that because I wanted to check my work. I did that formula by formula. Okay? Okay, let us go to another thing that is really helping and really educating. Okay? Because the exam is saying for you, use cells C29 to C15 to create a named range called 2. What is that named range? And how to do it? And how would that help me? Okay, we will see everything because this is such a very kind and useful example to learn from. Okay, first let's give it those cells that name. Let me show you how to give those cells that name and then learn how would that help us. Okay, so it is cell C29 to C15. Please first highlight C29 all the way down to C115. It looks like this is all the data in the donate to column. Okay, without the cell with the label donate to. Okay, this is the range required. How to give it a name? The easiest way is after highlighting, right click and use this define name. Yes, define name. Okay, okay. Please do not click OK in that window unless we take a screenshot of it. The name should be 2. Please don't say OK. Don't click OK. Just give it the name 2. Okay? This because those cells will be called 2. Okay? Take a screenshot evidence of the creation of this named range and place this in your evidence document. Before you click OK, you run the snipping tool, new, take a picture of that. Okay, go to the evidence and paste, and then go back and click OK. Now it is safe. Okay. Let us examine what does this mean. Let us look at the screenshot because the screenshot is a little bit big. So the name 2 refers to the cell C29 colon C150, exactly as instructed by the exam. However, there is something more. There are dollar signs in here. And dollar signs mean absolute cell reference. And this will help you a lot, because when you use this range in a formula and afterwards you do a replicate, those cells with the name 2 will not move. I will show you. And this will be absolute cell reference. And it will be necessary in your next task to use absolute cell reference. The exam is guiding you to do the correct thing, even without noticing. Okay? Okay? So you have to learn one thing. Cells with a name, they become absolute reference. Okay? When you replicate, they will not move. I will show you this when we make use of these two named ranges in a function or a formula. Okay? Okay? Okay. If you'd like to double check here, that exact range has the name 2. Now is referred to with the name 2. Okay? Okay, let us carry on. Let us carry on. We have to do another name. We have to do another name. The other name will be called amount. And this will reference cell G29 to G15. First, highlight G29. This is G29. All the way down to G115. Okay, it looks like this is all the data under the title donation in Tawaradams. And then right click define name and give it the name amount. Give it the name amount with a capital. And take a screenshot of it. Take a screenshot of it before you click OK. This is snipping tool, and you take a picture of it and put it in your evidence document. Please here, enter and click it again. So you will be awarded for 2 and you will be awarded for amount. Just click on button save and then click here on button OK. Okay, so this column now is called amount. The other column is now called 2. Let us see how we can make use of this. Now, at least we received 2 more. Okay, okay. Let us carry on this task because it will be directly making use of the 2 named ranges. Okay, let us read the question first. Enter a formula in cell C7. Let us see, this is cell C7. Okay, calculate the total. Let us try to think. I will need a function to calculate the total. Maybe it's going to be function sum, or maybe not. But I'm just now trying to focus. The exam is asking me to calculate the total. So maybe it's going to be sum, or maybe something more complicated than this. Okay? Sum of the total of the donations. This is the donations of this project using the project code and the 2 named ranges. The exam is directing you to use the 2 named ranges. One of the named ranges will be referencing this code. The other 2 named range will be referencing that other code. Okay, we haven't decided yet that it's going to be sum, because it's not going to be sum. It's something more complicated. But I'm drawing your attention that you will need a function to do some sort of summation. Let us read the question again, because I would like to total the donation to this project. So, so I would like only to sum donations directed only to this project, not all the donations. Okay, let me tell you, this is going to be function sum if, because there is a condition. Let's first do the sum if and then explain how it will work with colors and colored cell. Okay, click on button, select that cell, click on button FX and search for sum if, SUMIF, and click go. You have to go to the exam with all possible available functions in your syllabus on your mind, because you cannot tell it is going to be some if unless you have used it before. Okay, so look for some if. Okay, okay, this is some if. It has a range, it has a criteria, it has a sum range. Let me first do the criteria, because it helps. It helps. The criteria will be that cell T0, because this is the code for the project I want. Okay. The range. Let us work the range. Click the mouse in the range and go to highlight that column, because that column has codes of projects. If you highlight the correct cells, you will see these cells are exactly the same cells. You gave them the name 2. So you have here written 2. Okay, so now the function SUMIF will take that cell T0 and look for it in that column. And when it finds a match, please put the pointer in the sum range. The sum range will be that column. That column is called amount. If you type amount from the keyboard, it's going to work. But amount, AMOUNT. See, it is working because data is retrieved. This is the data. And if you highlight exactly the same cells, it will show the name amount. Okay? Okay, we did it. Click OK. Okay, let us study it. We did it before, we study it. Please, on it, double click. With colors, I can explain it. I can better explain it. This function is called SUMIF. The criteria, it reads the contents of that cell, that is T0. And then it searches for it, for a match in the column deliver to. And when it finds a match, it sums all the corresponding values corresponding to project T2. Okay? It is working fine. Okay? Press Enter. Replicate this formula for all projects. Please drag this all the way down to all projects. Happily, it is working as intended without your knowledge. Let us study this. Let us study this. Because here we have some cells that are relative reference. We have some other cells that are absolute reference. Okay? Let us double click on the second one. The cell here is going down with you, and this is relative reference. However, these two columns are not moving. Why? Because you gave them names first, and cells with names become absolute reference, and it is just working fine without your noticing. So if I double click on the last one, the column with code is going down with me. This is useful. Those two columns aren't moving. This is very useful. Okay, that exam was very kind, asking you to give named ranges to cells, and the side effect of that they become absolute, and the exam and the question is working fine, maybe without noticing. Okay, okay, okay. You should learn from this about named range and function SUMIF and absolute reference. Okay, okay, okay. Please press on button save, because I did quite a lot of work. Okay, now it is time to do the formatting. And I always instruct candidates to take very good attention to formatting. They are worth 6 marks, and hopefully you will never mistake any of these words. Okay, format the top of the spreadsheet to look like this. Format the merged cell in row 1 to 5 to have blue background. First, highlight these cells in home, merge, and center. Okay. And make it font size 20. Yeah, 20. White with blue background. Make the text white and fill it with blue background. Okay. Any level of blue is fine. Yeah, it's this one, this one. Okay. And also row 5 and this is row 1. Row 5. Row 5 has to be exactly the same. Margin center, font size 20, and white with blue background. Okay. And from the picture, you would merge and center these. You would make these cells center and bold. And also, you should notice that the height of row 2 is reduced. Remember to reduce the height of row 2. And significantly, the examiner can see. Okay, and the height of row 4 is reduced. Okay, format the merge cell in row 27. Okay, merge these. Merge and center to match row 5, which means font size 20 and white with blue background. Okay, easy, 6 marks. Okay, easy, 6 marks. Now your spreadsheet looks really nice. Okay, apply appropriate formatting to values stored in column C in the project table and column G in the donation table. How would I format? These cells are in Tawara dollars. So you right click, format cells, make them currency, decimal place 2, and Tawara dollar is anything with the dollar sign. I always use English United States. Okay, so they are money with the currency symbol and 2 decimal place. Also, that column, look for English United States. Anything that shows the dollar sign, it is in the Tawara dollar. Anything that shows the dollar sign. Here also, right-click Format Cell, make it currency, decimal place 2, and anything from here that shows the dollar sign, anything, any dollar. I always use English United States, but it doesn't matter as long as it looks in dollar and in 2 decimal place. Yeah, that other cell as well, that other column as well. Currency, column, 2 decimal places. This is what is meant by applying appropriate formatting to these columns. Okay, now it is time to print. Okay, save your spreadsheet. Click on button save because I did a lot of effort in that. Print your spreadsheet showing that formulae. You have to be very careful. Go to formulas and click on button show formulas. But not all, yes, but immediately after, because not all formulas are totally visible. The exam will ask you to make all formulae visible. I don't wait until the exam is asking me. Immediately after going into formula view, I do select all between A and B, double click, and this is auto fit. Because if any part of a function is not totally visible, you will not get marks for it. Okay? So select all. The exam is saying contents of all cells are fully visible. I'm doing this twice. Select all, double click, auto fit twice. It is all visible now. Okay, it is all visible now. It is in landscape orientation, page layout, orientation, landscape, page layout, orientation, landscape. Row and column headings are displayed. Print titles in page layout. Print titles, click row and column headings. Okay. The contents of all cells are fully visible. I did that. Select all, double click, auto fit. I've done that. Do it again, twice. It is very critical. Okay. Now all formulae are totally visible. Okay. Print. So you file and print. Okay. And it doesn't matter. It's going to print on 12 pages. It doesn't matter. Just print. Okay. When you receive your printouts, you check them, make sure your candidate details are everywhere, make sure everything is visible. If not everything visible, you may need to reprint. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Next. Set the page orientation to portrait. Okay. Let us get outside that print. I think also I need to get outside that formula view. So please, formulas, cancel or untake that show formulas. And also again, select all, double click autofit. So whenever you change formulas and values, select all and double click autofit. Format the text in row 28 so that it is center aligned both vertical and horizontal. Highlight these cells. This is row 28. Okay. And home, this button is called horizontal center. The button above is called vertical middle align. Okay. Nothing happened, but it will be effective in a minute. Format the text in G28 so that it is wrapped. Okay, these very same cells, click on button, wrap text. Nothing happened. I know how to enforce it to wrap. Nothing happened. Make sure the cell contents are fully visible and fit on a single page wide. Okay. Okay. We would like it to wrap. First, make the height of this cell 3 or 4 times as much. Okay. And for the cell to wrap, just make the column width narrower. Make the column width here narrower. Make the column width here narrower. So see, donated 2. 2 is wrapping and going to a new line. Okay. And donation, make it so donation in local currency. Local currency, ISO. Exchange, but I don't want a broken word. Donation in, make donation in. I don't want broken words. Donation in Tawara dollars. But watch out because things are being broken. So make sure everything is visible. Yeah, make sure because there are project names here that must appear. Maybe you can make this column. No. It's really, see, it is really stressful because I would like to reduce column widths as much as possible, but not to the extent that cells are not totally visible. Because the exam is asking you, make sure all cell contents are fully visible and fit on a single page wide without changing the font size. Let us see how it will print. Print. I think it is now on one page wide. But also, let us see, remove row and column headings. Row and column headings. Go to print page layout, print titles, remove row and column headings. Okay, this will give you some additional space. Orientation is portrait. Orientation, portrait. Okay. It's on a single page. Content of all cells are fully visible. Row and column headings are not visible. Okay. I think mine is just perfect because it is 1 page wide and 3 pages tall. I think that's okay. Please print. Okay, make sure your name, center number, showing values. I think this printout is really suitable right now. Okay, let us carry on. You will extract the projects with the highest donation in week 2. Open and examine the file N22 week2.csv. This is a third file. N22 week 2. Double click on this and open it in Spreadsheet. And remember to select all, double click autofit. So let us examine this file. This is a third file. ماشي, open and examine N22 week2.csv in a spreadsheet. Okay. Okay. Place your name, center number, and candidate number left align in the header. Insert header, left align in the header, put your candidate details. Okay. And let us click outside the header region and view normal, get outside of it. The exam is asking you extract only the projects with donations at least 15,000, which means search for donations that are greater than or equal 15,000. Okay. Okay, let us highlight the titles and go to data and filter. This is how you may do an extract. Data and filter. Okay. Click on the arrow for total donation and number filter greater than or equal to 15,000. Okay. Okay. This is the result. Sort the data into descending order of project name. This is project name, and this is sort Z to A. Sort Z to A. Okay, print. That's it. Print. In the spreadsheet showing value, make sure single page, row and column headings are visible. Page layout, print titles, row and column headings. Mention content of all cells are fully visible. Go and print. Yeah, it is 1 page and it is portrait and row and column headings. And this is the result of your search. And this is, see, it is just 4 marks question. However, the whole Excel was 48 marks. And at that time, the exam was out of 80. So expect that web authoring will a little bit smaller. Okay, that's it for the spreadsheet. Thank you very much for your attention.